Okay. Joyce is here. Can you rush him? Okay, good. Video and Alexa. Abdul and
I can assist with that.
Okay, James. Who else? We need at least some 3 people.
I will help James.
James and Tracy. Visual tracking. That's not. I think we are done. Master data.
Cool.
Master data.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we are done. Session task verifier. James.
Yes.
Anyone else? Session task verifier.
Can assist with that.
Then now we are done.
All right, let's do our check-ins.
Okay.
Do you want to go through the check-ins, Lucy?
Check-in. I think it's the check-in. Can we check in? Alen, can we check in? Beginning with Alen. Alen.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Today, I'm at 5.
Thank you. James?
Yes. Hello, guys. I hope for those who are celebrating Christmas, it went well. For me, I'm at 5.
Thank you, James. Mazi?
Yeah, hi guys. I hope it will be a good session because I have joined this session after many days and I am so excited to join. Today I am level 8.
What time is there now?
It's 1 a.m.
1 p.m.
1 a.m.
1 a.m.
So 1 a.m. You can indicate that on JC.
Yes. 1
Abdul?
a.m. times 2.
Abdul?
Yes.
Can you
Hi guys. Yeah, I'm fine today, and I'm happy to join this session. 7 today.
Okay, thank you. JC?
Yeah. Hello, good morning, everyone. Glad to have this to join this session, and I'm 6.
Okay, thank you. Jay?
Hey everyone. I'm doing okay. If Shigimi, if you could mute, that would be helpful. So got some background noise. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's pretty late, about 1 in the morning. So I'm definitely at 2x in the middle of the night. I'm hoping to get through this pretty quick, and the holidays have been going very well. So, but I'm happy to be here. Yeah, check.
Your number?
Maybe like a 5.
Okay, thank you. Shigemi?
Hi guys, happy to be here. Yeah, happy to be here, guys. I'm at 6 today.
Okay, now you can take us through the outcome then.
Okay, do we have any desired outcomes for today?
Lucy?
Are there no desired outcomes? Are there any topics?
Lucy, I think you were telling about the
I add some priority topics in this bottom session. I add some here, so if anyone can on, then they can also add some priority topics here.
We don't understand you, Abdul. Do you want to say that again?
I already updated the priority focus last 8th session, and just have an overview in this total priority topics, and then if needed any other topics, then you can add here. In our today's doc session.
So you're saying that that the co-chair meeting, you guys put together a draft agenda.
Yes, but on that session, I'm only one person, but no one can join with me. But I do only.
So did you add anything to the list?
Yes, I already added that list here. Today's doc.
Okay, so what's it say? Budget, websites, payroll, selling calendar, plan, team equity, those are okay. All right, so obviously we have a desired outcome of getting more organized. I also wouldn't mind get through a few proposals for immediate work. How are we doing on our numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Does anyone want to vote to split up? Otherwise, I think we're staying together.
We also have proposals for Christmas bonus.
There is a proposal?
Yeah, we
go.
discussed it before. You have 2 proposals. People will need to vote. We voted before. Maybe we can vote it again. We can go through together again. Can you copy paste there, Joyce, the proposal?
yeah. Wait, I just go to our.
Just copy the way it is and the way we vote.
Wait. Ocean. Here.
Yeah, I think she put it there. Put it on there.
Okay, so what I would recommend is that we start with our, oh wait, I have these other proposals too. Let me see if I can find them. And who's our timekeeper today?
It's me.
And remind at the bottom of every hour and the top of every hour, you need to remind us to check in. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Cool. All right, so I have some other proposals probably going around here. Yeah, we can put this. The personnel HR work proposals. All right, so I would say we start with 3 to 5 minutes on our team setup. The 82nd degree budget hopefully won't take more than 5 to 10 minutes. Payroll, I don't know, 15 minutes. Christmas year-end bonus, how long does that need?
Maybe 5 to 10
Yeah,
minutes.
take 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, so then I would say after that, we would skip to a monthly goals and priorities review, right? And we do this for like 20 minutes. And then we would go on to our other team topics and goal topics. Does that sound good?
Yes.
Cool. So
Can we add some, we have a master decision doc, so can we vote it the decision that we already passed in our weekly main session doc, the main session?
which is?
I have a proposal about my payments. And
Well, why don't you just add
second
it
one
to
is-
the list?
Hello.
Hi,
Hello,
Albina. Why don't you just add it to the
Can you
list?
please check in?
Oh yeah, it's not Albina, check in.
Everyone. Merry Christmas. I'm late. Sorry. I'm at 6.5.
Great. So Abdul, can you just add it to the list?
Yes, I will just add it now.
So Abdul's proposal, I mean, is there a name for it? Is it as an advance or back pay advance? What is it? Oh, payment? This is payment processing?
Yeah. This is not the advance, this is my payments.
So payment processing? I think this is
yes.
Upwork contract. Okay, cool. So let's make sure we get to that. That shouldn't take too long, 5 to 10 minutes. Any other topics or desired outcomes from anyone? All right, cool. So are there any objections to the topics? All right, so it looks like we have agreement here. As far as our schedule and everything, I mean, it would be good to wrap up pretty soon. Like, so if it's 3 o'clock, 3, 4, so wrap up by 4:30, start wrap up, or earlier. So I would love, like, one of my desired outcomes definitely to finish quickly, because technically it's still holidays and hard stop, and yeah, et cetera, et cetera. So we should get to work. Does that sound good as far as the schedule goes? To start wrapping up at 4:30, if not earlier? Does anyone agree with that?
Yes, I agree with that.
Okay.
What time, Jay?
4:30. 4:30 either Australia time or America's time. 4:30. So that gives us an hour and 15 minutes to do as much as we can. So James, be sure to check in at 4:30. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So and that would be UTC would be let's see, 4, 3, 2, 1, 12, 11, 10. 10:30 UTC.
UTC. Okay, so 12:30.
All right. So so what about splitting up? How many we got? 9 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Abdul. Want to split up or stay together?
4, 6.
Yes, I want to split.
Abdul for split up. Joyce.
Yes.
Joyce staying together.
Joyce stayed together. Joyce. I'm gonna vote for splitting up, and then we have Mazi.
Albina said,
Yeah, I will say we have to stick together.
Stay together.
Yeah.
James.
Again.
Me, I vote for splitting up.
Splitting up. James. Shigimi. Ali.
Eileen for split up.
Eileen for split up. And Shigimi, can you say it again? You stay together?
I say stay together.
All right, Lucy.
Lucy split up.
Lucy. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 5 to 4 split up. So it looks like we're gonna split up. We never did the actual elections for the Mercury session. So the Mercury session elections. I don't know if those were ever added up. So anyways, I'm just gonna go with whatever it says in the elections ranking, and then we will split up based on that. Does anyone want to change their vote at all, or are we all good splitting up?
I think we should stay together.
Joyce? Was that
I
Joyce?
think we should stay together.
Are you changing your vote? No, Joyce, you already
No,
voted
I
to
think
stay
we
together. Yes, you already voted to stay together. So unless you're changing your vote, it's 5 to 4, and the splitting ups win. It's 5 votes for splitting up, 4 votes for staying together. And so I'm just going to the public. Going to the ranking, and we're going to split up based on election rankings and who the top senior sextant manager is for each sextant. So my assumption is that the elections were not ranked for Mercury session. So I think we're just based on, Mercury, December 2017. Yeah, blank. Yeah, so we have nothing there. All right, so we're just going to go with the Mars session still, even though we should have had an election between then and Mars. So sorry for whoever didn't do that. It's like.
Ajay?
Yeah.
We had the elections for Mercury. I even added it on the spreadsheet. So.
Well, where is it?
Even surprised to find it empty.
Where's the personnel rankings doc? This should probably be here. Let's see if this works. So November, December 2017, like you do update the most recent updated doc, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
It's still blank. It's the same one. There's nothing there. Anyways, I mean, obviously it wasn't done. Let's not worry about it, but it's like we should get that done. And if it's somewhere else, then copy and paste it into the correct document. And remember, it's like output. Output is actually getting something done, not doing work and not verifying it and not telling anybody about it and just having it totally be silent and secret that the work was ever done. It's just not helpful at all. Does that make sense? Everyone understand that? It's like if you do work, you let everybody know you did the work, and so they can verify it and double check it and make sure it's correct. Otherwise, you didn't do anything. All right, so we got me, Nelly, Albina. All right, so it would be main group, J, Albina. Oh boy. Asif is not here, right? Jorge's not here. Abdul is here. Zilu is not here. Steve is not here. Lily is not here. Mal's not here. Shagimi is here. Shagimi. Thomas, James. Anyone else, or is that everyone? Aline? Oh no, Shagini. We got Shagini. Julie, Rhodes, Benji. I mean, I think that's it. Is there anyone else? So this is Jay is. This is 60. No, this is 120 degree west. Whoops. Please no. All right, 120 degree west. Albina is 0 degrees. Abdul is 60 degrees east. Shagini is 120 degrees east. And then none for 180. And none for 60 degrees west. Is that correct? So this would be so Lucy, you can head up the other group, the second group, okay? Although let me think about that. We're gonna need a really good runner here. James, Eileen, Albina, Ozzy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So Lucy, you're gonna be the runner, right? And who wants to be the second group facilitator?
I can assist with that.
James? Okay, so it's going to be the backup facilitator. So when Lucy's not there, James facilitates. Everyone understand that? So Lucy's number 1, James number 2. So Lucy, why don't you stay here for a little bit while we get started, and James, you can help get the other group started. What group you're gonna what hangout are you guys gonna go to?
The 8th, I think.
8th hangout. Okay. And then if anybody changes their vote or someone leaves, let us know, because that could change the outcome. Okay. Let's split up. We are good to go. And yeah. Any other questions here? All right, well, I'm going to just jump into both Hangouts while we are getting everything sorted. And we're doing really good on time, so good work, everyone. All right, so the first topic is whoever's doing video indexing, that's a lot in there. All right, so first topic is our team setup. What is going on here? It's so confusing. All right, so setting up the team and do a little heading here. How's the 8th hangout coming along? James is on the 8th hangout. Why is James the only one on the 8th hangout?
Still have Joyce here, Moaz.
Can someone explain to Mazi how to do it by Skype, and then Aline, Joyce.
I'll send Mazi a link.
Great. Joyce, are you going to the 8th hangout? Hello?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, but I prefer to stay, but anyway.
We voted. You don't have to stay at all. You can just leave and not work. I mean, we voted to split up. The people are going to it's all based on the elections. The elections were not updated, so it's based on the previous elections, and that's our policy.
Yeah, no
so
problem.
if you don't want to split up, you can just leave. It's fine. You don't have to work if you don't want to.
I just go to the second hangout.
Yeah, it'll be the 8th hangout with James. He's already there. He's waiting for you.
Yes, yes.
And then also Aline
Bye.
and Mazi.
Yes.
Cool.
Mazi, I'm sending you the link of your type. You enter, it will take you direct to that.
Okay, I will join that.
Okay.
Cool. And Lucy, why don't you go ahead and head over there and help get the group set up, and then come back over here once you guys get set up. And remember, you guys can update the agenda based on the priorities of that group. So you probably want to review the agenda briefly and just make sure that, you guys are talking about what you want to, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. So we're just going to quickly go through the setup of the steering team here, and we should be able to link to that pretty easily. Here's the steering team doc. And global steering team setup verification spreadsheet. It's so great to see things getting organized around here. I'm very excited. All right, here we are. So this is our team setup. Oops. Oh, come on. That's really unfortunate. So anyways, every single session we're going to be doing this particular part of it, which is just checking the spreadsheet of the team setup verification. So anyone can help do this. We just need to copy and paste the link for the team setup into here, and it's not working. I did it 3 times, so anyone who wants to help make sure this works, please do. All you have to do is copy the global steering team setup verification spreadsheet into our notes under team verification, team setup. Hopefully one of us can do it. It's not working for me. Can anyone do that, please?
Okay.
Abdul?
Yes, I can.
The spreadsheet here, please. All right, so the first thing that we can notice here is that not much has been verified here. So yes, we obviously completed the team, created the team verification spreadsheet. So that's good, a good step. Fortunately, it's not working. Let me make sure I'm on the right. AG2, try AG. Steering team, because it is the steering team, right? So we'll just delete that. Super team doc, also not applicable. So this would be our steering team doc. And the answer to that is yes. Master priorities list would be global. This would be the global master priorities list. This is also yes. We also have a global global master priority spreadsheet, right? I think that's really what it is. A little more important for this group. So I'm not sure if we actually have a global master priorities list. It's a spreadsheet. Decisions doc, I don't know if we have a decisions doc, master responsibilities list. So this would be global master responsibilities list. And this would be yes. All right, so do you guys see how this works?
Yes,
everyone understand that this can happen anytime? You don't have to wait until right now, so we could come through here and verify that it's all done and correct. All right, budget. We are getting close to our budget. I'd say our budget's like, 75%, so that would be green. And hopefully we'll finish that right now. Deliverables, documentations. Documentations is not really that much of a priority for this particular group. Scheduling and calendar. The schedule is perfectly fine. Our schedule is set forever on this group. Session support. We did some is happening. Session support is starting to happen. The co-chair sessions are what's supposed to support and set up the session. Oops, this is supposed to be yellow.
Yeah.
And team development, this doesn't make, oh, here we go. Evaluation accountability, not really happening. Team identity is pretty good. I'd say 60%. Training, we're making progress. All right. Anyway, so we got through most of the stuff. Task responsibility litigation, we're getting better at that, but it still needs a lot of work. Project management systems, not really happening. System processes, we're doing more. Recruitment, we're making a lot of progress with our recruitment. It's very exciting. Material organizing, not applicable team equity. Okay, so we got through the first part of this. We just need to keep going, but we'll just do a little bit each time, okay? So that's pretty much it to kind of see where the steering team is currently at. Doing pretty good. Just exciting. All right. So that's good. Now we're going to go to the budget. Are there any questions about the setup for the team?
No questions.
Okay. So as far as the budget goes, the goal here is to review from the new moon session which teams needed to update budgets, etc., and then basically confirm that they did. All right. You all handle that? Can you guys all handle that?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go in the 8th hangout, and Lucy, just pass it off to James once you guys get started, and come check in with us as soon as possible. Okay. But make sure to make sure everything gets started well. All right, talk to you guys soon. Okay, so all we need now is we just need to go to the new moon session. So that would probably be linked off of the global team doc. And we need the new moon sessions. If someone can link the new moon sessions into the quarter moon sessions or the steering team, that would be helpful. Because we would need them every single steering team. We need to be checking in on the quarter moon session. All right, so this will be the new moon for Monday, 18th of December. And what we're pulling up is just like the list of all the decision for the budget, right? Which is that we need to double check all of the budgets were correct. And I should not have done that. It's way too slow. There we go, budget. All right, so here's our proposal. And bring that over here. Budget. So Zuri team is a check. So let's get a final team budget balances. So Zuri, what's Zuri's balance? Sonic. Can anyone remember what's on Cobalt? Cobalt is positive. Cobalt is either 0 or something green. I'll check Cobalt since that one's mine. So what about Fulcrum? Where's Fulcrum at?
Fulcrum team also balance.
What does that mean? What is that at? 0 or what?
Positive $17.
$17. Okay, so it doesn't say that here though. So it says under Fulcrum 60 degrees. It says, oh no, it does say positive 17. Perfect. Okay, that's good. 17. So how about Albina? What about Zuri?
I'm just taking on it.
All right, Sonic is not updated. So that's a problem.
So Sonic is updated. Sonic is updated. Sonic also updated, and Sonic team has $930.
Well, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yes, and for Monty is under recruitment budget, so that's why they have $930. Only 2 members, and can accept these 2 members.
I have 480 left here. Interesting. Okay, so anyways, Sonic Team has some money left over that it could distribute to other teams, which is interesting to say the least. You were saying, keep going, Abdul?
And then jury team also have
Negative 42.
224.
224.
224.
What's 224? 224 positive?
Yes, positive.
Positive 224.
That's pretty unbelievable. Atlantic, I believe, was in the negative. 600 positive?
So I have
what?
Yeah, so I have a question about the Atlantic. If Miguel is go under recruitment, then it will be 600 will be positive.
Well, I don't understand what you guys are saying. You guys aren't making any sense here. Andromeda. So Andromeda is negative $200. So that one's simple and clear and easy. Make it yellow. Atlantic.
So Jay, I have a question about the.
And also, what doesn't make sense is that all of these numbers are different than all the other numbers, which also doesn't make a lot of sense here. So Hydra Atlantic team says 150. Is this updated for Hydra?
Yes, yeah, this is up. Yeah, this is updated.
Okay, so Hydra Atlantic is Hydra. Oh, by the way, everybody, Hydra is the new Atlantic team. Hydra 150. So, I mean, what I have Zuri is negative 223. So how do you guys get 224 positive?
If they use the public control, then it will be positive. But they also
we're interested in the team budget.
Control.
The balances. So are we all in agreement that Zuri's negative 223?
No, I don't. We have no.
What?
We don't have a negative in our budget.
Well, why does it say here negative 223 in Zuri team budget?
We don't know where they get that idea from.
Abdul was working with Joyce on budget. I don't know why they are getting the negative value at last.
Yeah, so they, can you check the breakdown, spreadsheet breakdown, team breakdown?
So how about Fulcrum team? Fulcrum team says negative 186.
So there is a missing one thing here. Only when we use the team control plus public control budget, then this both things go under the balance budget. But when we don't use the public control budget, then all team not only one team is balanced budget.
Okay, so what it means to be negative $200 for Andromeda means they're borrowing $200 from the next month's budget, right? So that loan, that borrowing creates a balanced budget, but creates a current balance of negative $200. Does everyone understand that?
Yes, I understand, but they have also public budget, public control budget 400.
So what? The public control budget should be filled with getting someone involved in doing some actual recruitment instead of saying we're doing recruitment, not doing it. So the public budget is not applicable to the team control, but the team budget. It's a negative. The team budget is what's negative, so therefore it's a negative value, and you start with less money the next month. You can't just use the team control, the public budget on the team budget. Does that make sense?
No.
No? It doesn't make sense?
I see it makes sense.
It does make sense. Okay, cool. So it's very simple. Well, it's actually not that simple, but the point is that there's two budgets. There's the team control budget and the public control budget. You can't use the public control budget for the team control budget. So if either budget is negative, then it's going to be negative, right? So for example, Fulcrum has a negative 186 and a negative 22, right? So that's actually, it should be negative 186 and negative 22, which would equal negative 208. Does that make sense or not?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
No, for me, I don't understand anything there, Jay.
What don't you understand?
You said public and if, for example, we are using both public and team control team budget. What's wrong with that? Because for us, we are using both a public and control team budget.
Well, here it says you're not using any public budget, so that might be a problem. Maybe we need to review your team budget. So let's look at it. Where can we find it?
Maybe, yeah. We just
So where?
In fact, we have a balance of 150.
Can someone link the Zuri budget, please?
yeah, let me do it.
All right, let's take a look at the Zuri budget. All right, December, January budget, recruitment budget, public budget. There's nobody in the public budget. It says it's zero, but public budget is zero. No one's using the public budget. So what's the question?
The question is we did not split Thomas and Albina. We just indicate them there. When we do breakdown, we just take some cash from public directly and add it on our.
And you can't do that.
On breakdown.
You can't just take money from public budget and add it to whatever you want. It's not. You can't do that. So only people who are in the public budget can be applicable. So if you have a question about whether or not Thomas or Albina fit in the public budget, we can talk about that, but it's not applicable to just use the money for the team budget when it's the public budget. That's completely a big red flag.
The question is, can we split one team? Because these 600, both of them that can take one person to the public and another one to the team. Is it allowed?
If they're in the public budget, do you understand how to calculate whether someone's in the public budget or not?
Yeah, you are not clear, Jay.
Oh, can you hear me?
The net has a problem.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
You can talk now, maybe. Yeah, you are clear now.
A little better?
Can you explain now? It's a bit better.
So the answer is, my question is, do you know how to rank the public team, the public budget, and whether or not people fit in the public budget?
we don't know. I don't know. I can't lie. I don't know that.
Albina, do you know how to do that?
Not really, no.
Not really. Okay, so let's go over that real quick. But before we do that, what's going on in the other group? Lucy?
Come up again.
What's going on in the other group?
Another group that are working on budget.
Okay.
Also. Yeah.
And what? Okay, they're just working on the budget as well. All right, that's good. So, yeah. So just let them know that our goal is trying to make sure that what the total negative on the budgets are and what the total current budget is at. Also, we need someone to work on the HR proposals. Like the HR proposals have not been done yet. So if you could let them know those two things, that'd be great. So let's open up the public rankings. And we can go over how it works. So here's the general rankings in the public. So I'm going to do this pretty quick because we don't have a lot of time here. We're probably over time. Who's our timekeeper? Can we get a new timekeeper?
Abdul.
Abdul. So Abdul, how much time do we have left here?
We have already 2 minutes of this topic.
2 minutes. What? I didn't understand.
2 minutes over.
We're 2 minutes over already. Wow. All right. Well, that's exciting. So, and we're also a whole meeting late too. This should have all been dealt with before. So actual money hour ranking is how we define the public budget, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I rank that, and then I come over here and I rank by sextant. And then that should give us, oh wait, there's one more thing left, is the active team public rankings. So I would go into, wow, no, I think this is correct.
Yeah, this is correct.
All right, so first off, we're on 0 degree, right?
Yeah.
All right, active public rankings, well, Zimbabwe. Anyone actively recruiting this person? So someone should be recruiting this person in 12.8. Who wants to recruit this person? Inviting this person. Lucy and Albina.
Well, I think he's a new person.
Yeah, they're a new person from December 8th. Okay, so there's one. Oh wait, their ranking's way low though. Maybe not. Maybe you don't rank them. I don't know. We're not looking at the right ranking. For some reason, I would just double check and see what's going on with this person. For some reason, they're ranked really high.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's at 10. I don't know. Let's just ignore that. Something's wrong here. It needs to be fixed. So this should be blue, first of all. Blue, and it's a problem. So we'll make some red marks on it because there's issues going on. I don't know what's going on there. So let me just check it. All right.
Yeah.
So inactive final response, inactive active. What?
You are not clear.
What's not clear?
Your internet is really choppy.
Oh, let me try AG2.
Yeah, clearly hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, good. So I would say by taking a look at this, it does seem that everybody's pretty much in the public budgets. Because you guys are all ranked very up on the list.
So I think we can maybe put Albina on public ranking.
But why is this person being weighted to being invited? What's going on with this person? Waiting to be invited? What's that? See private contact list? Approved for invitation. So
We're not waiting to be invited. I don't know who write that.
I don't know, but these people should all be being recruited, right? All of these people should be recruited.
Okay.
Who are in the public rankings, except for this person on the top. There's a problem here with something with something's wrong with that. But all of these people are basically should be in the budget and should be actively recruited until they're like these people get one more response. These people all need to be recruited.
Brenda recruited 3
including
times.
this person.
Are we still going to do for Brenda, surely?
And the same 3 times.
Yeah, I mean these ones you can probably remove. So
Brighton also.
we would just need to approve
Brighton
that.
was also invited.
Brighton once, maybe we can invite again. Josephine, no. See, private contact is not.
Okay, so anyways, the point is this is not the time to do this. Just take care of it. You know, get these people all invited.
Okay.
But I think overall it should be fine. But you just got to add someone to the public rankings or the public budget, so that it's clearly organized. So I think that's it for.
Can I be on the public budget, Jay?
Well, it would be whoever's ranked highest would be the public budget.
Yeah, you are the one because Steve is on direct, supposed to be Steve, but it is now you.
Yeah, so Steve would be direct because he would be ranked even higher than you, and then it would be the public. Okay. Yeah. And you don't need to say budget. You're going to say direct hour. Cool.
Let me go to the other side then.
So anyways, I think that Zuri should be fine. Let's just put a 0 and make it green.
You have at least a little balance there.
So it's just Fulcrum. It's just Fulcrum, Andromeda, Phoenix. Okay.
Let me work on that right now. Let me go back to the other side as I'm also fixing the Zuri budget to see the balance.
So 208.
Okay, bye guys. Let me check on that other side.
Okay, all right. On this, and so we're just going to vote on the total. So it's negative $769. Any questions? So the proposal would be to approve all team budgets as complete and approve the global core team budget at negative $769. Okay. That's the proposal. Are there any questions about the proposal?
No question from my side.
Good. Concerns?
Concern is a question, Jay.
Yeah.
Okay. The deficient we have is 769. Where are we going to get the 700?
Well, it only affects each of the individual teams. So Fulcrum's going to start with 200 negative next month. Andromeda is going to start with 200 negative. Phoenix is going to start with 361 negative.
Okay.
And the Sonic team should reconsider, like, you know, why it didn't distribute funds better. Maybe it did. Maybe we just didn't. And also the Hydra team. So we have almost $600 of extra funds that weren't distributed properly for some reason. So we need to figure that out, right? So we should have been much closer, but it didn't happen for some reason. So next month, it only affects the teams with negative balances. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other concerns? I guess, you know, it will be difficult to balance next month's budget for the 3 teams. But anyways, I'm sure it'll be fine overall. And it's also going to get more difficult in general because of the fact that we are taking on more people and we have all these very large new recruits for like local Bay Area and Hawaii and stuff that have a lot of expensive budgets. All right, so Let's vote. Shigimi, Abdul.
Yes.
I'm going to vote yes. Albina votes yes.
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 Shigimi votes yes. Abdul?
Yes.
All right. So I think we are in agreement. Consensus. We did the budget. Yay. So we're how much over we are? Like 10 minutes over?
13 minutes. 13 minutes. We have 2 more.
We were 10 minutes over or 13 minutes?
13 minutes over.
All right. 13 minutes over on that. All right. So hopefully next time we'll be a little bit more organized. But it's still good to learn how to do it. So, okay. So I think we're at we're ready to move on to the next topic. And oh, can someone let the other group know that we just approved the budget and we want to make sure they get approval as well. So
yeah,
Albina, yeah. Lucy, no. And just so you guys know, I mean, we're pretty lax on the public and the team budgets. So you guys need to fill in those gaps at the top of the budget, because there are like 4 or 5 people who could potentially fit into the public budget ahead of you guys. So you guys need to update. Wait, where did Albina go? Where did Albina go?
I think he's going to update the other. Who's that?
I will go to the second meeting.
Yeah, well, she wasn't supposed to go anyway. I don't know why she went. You're supposed to like just stay on Skype. Albina?
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, there's no
Yes.
need to go. All you have to do is Skype. All I asked you to do is to Skype the other group that we passed the budget, and then we're moving on to the next topic. Like, you don't need to leave. Like, Lucy's already running between the teams. Like, we're good to go.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. All right, so let's move on. Next topic here. The payroll. All right, questions on payroll? Any questions on the payroll?
Abdul, maybe you can link the spreadsheet. I think you are working on a spreadsheet with Joyce.
There's one thing I can say just as a general information training here, is that there's we're gonna split payroll into 3 what we call sub projects. So this should help organize the payroll, because right now the payroll is still a mess. So the most important thing is we're going to call it preparation to run the payroll is 1, right? And there's actually running the payroll 2, right? And then the third one is going to be setup and payroll systems. The biggest problem right now is actually the setup and the payroll systems, and I think people are thinking as if the payroll is already perfectly set up and all the payroll systems are done, which they're not. So it's really important to do that. And obviously the fourth one would be the manager position. Payroll manager. Okay. Abdul?
Yes, can you check the spreadsheet that I linking today's doc? Payroll timeline and schedule.
Okay, but do you guys understand the what I was just saying in terms of breaking the payroll up into 3 parts?
Yes, I understand.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so what's up? All right, so we have a schedule here.
Yeah, Joyce already scheduled for the payroll. So can you just an overview of that the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
This one.
What is the question again?
Just an overview of this spreadsheet. Is it right or can anything?
Okay, Jay, we just want you to check if it is okay or no.
Well,
Making it, if it's making sense.
Well, the most important thing is make sure that the work is in the Google Calendar or the Duodecon schedule or something like that. We gotta organize that.
This is already updated on Duodecon schedule. Updated on
Okay, well, it doesn't say that here, so we want to make sure it's updated here to verify that. So then I guess the only other question is how do we know when these happen? So where are we now?
So time is already updated here. You can see.
Well, what day is this? It says 8 p.m. Australia time to 10 p.m. Australia time. Abdul, Lucy, Albina. When do you guys do this?
Yeah, there's no day. Is it Monday? Which day?
Okay, so there's a big problem here is that it's not a schedule. It's a timeline. So we get rid of schedule. It's not a schedule. It's a timeline.
Just go to the right side. Just go to the right side of the spreadsheet. Spreadsheet. Just right side of that spreadsheet.
Okay.
9 Seleni date. There are still updated. Just go to the column number J. J column, K column. These two.
Okay, so
Seleni.
Tuesday. So this would be today.
Yeah, today.
Albina, are you planning on doing this today?
Yeah.
8 p.m.
Yeah.
Australia time 8 p.m.
8 p.m. today.
You guys are planning on doing this today?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay. It doesn't have to take 2 hours if it goes quicker. But let's see, Tuesday 9th. So then tomorrow we might be able to. What is this? This is Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yeah, so Wednesday, Thursday. Wait. What's this? 3. So what are people responsibility? Running payroll and finances. So what is this Abdul J? Oh, and Shagimi. 6:30 a.m. Australia time to 10:30 a.m. Australia time. Are you guys planning on doing this, Shagimi and Abdul?
Yes, so I think the third part is need to the real-time finances. So I think this is not confirmed already. So first of all, I think this real-time finances depend on you and which time is available. So.
Well, my question is, are you guys planning on? Well, the most important thing that is reliant to do the real-time finances is actually getting the verification done.
Yeah.
Right. So there. Yeah. What does it mean to get the verification done? Do you guys understand what that means?
Yeah.
What is the goal? What does it mean to complete and finalize the verification, payroll verification? So this is this is payroll verification spreadsheet.
We have 8 minutes left to the topic.
Thank you. What is the goal of the payroll verification spreadsheet? How do you know it's completed and finalized? What do you do?
So the first goal is need to verify and make it green.
That's the final thing, that it's 100% ready to run the payroll is that it's green. Does everyone else agree with that?
Yeah. But come again, Jay.
So you're saying that if you go to the payroll verification doc, you just make everything green, that it's good to go, everyone's gonna get paid, you don't have to worry about doing, you don't have to do anything else.
No.
Okay, so what do you have to do?
We confirm the hours on our work reports.
Okay, but that's the whole different step. So we're talking about payroll verification. What is what's called the final, basically the final output, right? The final, or at least like the final production, right? It's principal output. So do you guys understand what happens after the payroll verification spreadsheet? What happens after the payroll verification is completed and finalized?
Then the payroll, need to pay the members.
Payment is done.
So we run the payroll, right?
Yeah.
So how are we going to be able to run the payroll?
So after make it green, all for this payroll verification spreadsheet, all are green, then the run the payroll is a start.
No. So you guys are totally missing the point here. I think this is also part of why we're so bad at output. It's because you guys are missing the point, right? So this is what I'm hearing. Make everything green, magically run payroll. That's what I just heard from you. Like somehow that you make everything green and then suddenly magically the payroll just happens. Is that what you guys are saying?
No, it is our responsibility to make sure that we are helping in payment, in paying people.
But that's the running of the payroll. So that's the next responsibility, is running the payroll and real-time finances, et cetera. So that's the next one. So my question is, what happens in between the two things? So you just make everything green and then suddenly magically the payrolls just run. That's all I'm hearing from you guys. But that nothing else needs to happen. Shagimi, do you have any idea?
I think we need also check the previous payroll is done or not. Make sure.
Oh my God! So that's a whole other thing. So payroll support, right? And previous payrolls. I mean, these are other responsibilities, but yeah. And then there's also the payroll setup. These are all very important responsibilities. But let's say everything was going perfectly. You don't need to worry about all that stuff because that's stuff in the past. Hey, Lucy, what's up? Are you back?
Yeah, we are on payroll.
Oh, great, cool. We're talking about payroll too. Do you think we should join the groups for the payroll?
Yeah, you can join them together for sure.
Okay, and then we can go over payroll together because it's a priority. So let me just jump on the other group real quick. Hang out.
I copy pasted already. I pasted the proposal on our document.
I needed plus the other figures, but
Did you guys approve the budget?
Jay?
Yeah.
We're doing now.
Yes?
Yeah, on the first.
We are doing it now, Jay.
Okay, well, let us know when you guys finish approving the budget, okay?
Okay, sure.
All right, well, I guess they didn't finish approving the budget yet.
I'm just copying the proposal to them.
Yeah, so get the budget approved and finalized, and if you guys make any changes, then let us know, and we'll review it as well. But we're going to keep working on the budget, the payroll process a little bit more. There seems to be some major gaps here. So, Shagimi, do you have any ideas on this in terms of what happens in between the payroll verification spreadsheet and the running of the payroll and real-time finances?
I'm not sure.
Not sure. Okay, so what is the goal of the payroll verification? Because making everything green is not a goal, that's a task. Do you guys understand the difference between a goal and a task?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is the goal of the payroll verification spreadsheet?
Getting people paid.
No, that's the goal of payroll overall. What is the goal of the responsibility of the payroll verification spreadsheet?
Double check to confirm that all members got their payment.
What? Say again, Abdul?
The main goal is we need to confirm that all members got their payment. They received their payments.
No, that would be sending them money, right? That's the point of payroll. What is the goal of the payroll verification spreadsheet responsibility? We're talking about a responsibility here.
Double checking about what
No.
we didn't finish the previous month or the previous day.
No, that's totally separate. Payroll support and previous payrolls are totally separate from the current payroll verification spreadsheet. Okay, so let me just explain to this, guys, because you guys are totally missing something here. The goal of the payroll verification spreadsheet is to find out and calculate exactly how much money each person is getting paid for the current payroll. You guys understand?
Yes.
Like how could it be anything except for that? You know, so if you don't know exactly how much money every single person needs to get paid, you can't run the payroll. That make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Jay, the second group requesting to join together on payroll.
Okay, cool.
Proposal passed.
How much time do we have left on payroll?
Pardon, Jay?
How much time do we have left on payroll?
15 minutes, but remaining with 5 more minutes.
5 minutes. All right, well, let's make it 10 minutes because we're joining with the other group and we'll see how this goes, okay? Payroll is one of the top priorities for the month. Just do as much as we can in 10 minutes and then we'll come back to it at the next meeting, okay? The key thing that we went over here together that people did not seem to understand is that the purpose and the goal of the payroll verification spreadsheet responsibility is to find out and calculate exactly how much money each person is getting paid for the current payroll. And unless you do that, you can't run the payroll in real-time finances, right? But what happens after this calculation? Exactly, what task? What task happens after you have finalized all of these calculations? So what's the task that you do after you've completed the goal?
you complete, you inform the rest.
Oh my God. Thank you, Lucy. Oh my God. Inform who? Who do you inform again? The rest?
You inform the rest of the people you are done with the payroll.
Okay, let's get a little more clear. Who do you inform? The rest of the people? Who are the rest of the people?
The team.
The team.
The team.
The rest of the team. Great. And how do you do that? How do you inform the rest of the team?
The raw group. A Skype group.
All right, maybe a
On
Skype message would be a good option. Okay.
Or
Or what?
Email maybe in future.
Yeah, Skype, email, whatever, some sort of message. Okay, so you're sending a message telling everybody that you have finalized and completed the payroll verification. Okay, that makes sense. So how do you know? How do you know that it is completed and finalized?
By double checking, triple checking, and making sure that every figure that is there is okay, and no
if
you have
if everything is green from the previous month and the current.
Okay, so make sure everything is green. Make sure everything is green. Double, triple check. Okay, I'm looking for at least 2 more things here.
Any spending from the previous payroll.
I didn't quite understand that. Oh wait, is Steve here? Does Steve need to check in? Do you want to check in, Steve? No? Okay. All right, so there's 2 more things that need to happen.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I've actually been here for a few minutes listening.
Do you want to check in?
When I realized, sure. I'm a little busy. We're leaving Eastern Samoa tomorrow to head back to Manila for the flight back on Thursday morning. Actually, I was just Skyping with Shamit. She gave me on the side. We're setting up arrangements to meet for dinner tomorrow. So I'm probably going to meet one of our team.
Awesome.
I'm going to go out for a nice little dinner. And otherwise, I'm happy to see that payroll is being prioritized, that people finally, asking exactly what they need to know so that payroll can get done.
Cool.
As far as I work on my end, I don't know how long I'm going to be here because I'm waiting and then we have dinner plans tonight. But as far as work on my end that you need to know, I should have something for you for the 1099s of the next day or 2.
Awesome.
Completely done. All right?
That would be incredible.
All right. I'll be here for a few minutes. I'll be here for another few minutes.
Awesome. Okay.
The other thing is, has anybody heard from our SIF? Has anybody heard from our SIF?
No, see if it's Bob. No, he's going to the hospital.
I think he's in the hospital. His last message with me that he was going to the doctor. He really didn't feel well, and that we'd work on the 1099 stuff the next day. And then I haven't heard from him since. So I'm thinking he might be hospitalized with bronchitis.
Possibly, yeah. Very concerning.
I actually text Asif Iqbal, but I didn't get any reply on Skype.
Also, message to Asif Iqbal, but not reply me also.
Yeah, so that goes 3 of us, and he always wants to work with me whenever I'm available. So for him not to reply has me a bit concerned.
Yeah, well, please keep checking on him. Also, we need to get those HR board proposals done so that we can get the people paid the back pay and advances. So, Asif, Razu, can you go to the 8th hangout, and then Steve, you can stay here, and yeah, we're just gonna keep going on the payroll. But yeah, you guys should definitely keep checking in with Asif. We have his phone number. You might be able to call him or something like that. I sent him, the money that we owed him.
I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna do that later on this evening. I'm gonna try to give him a call. I have plenty of minutes on my Hangout styler.
Okay, cool.
Plenty of money on there, so I'll call him.
All right, yeah, and
All right.
I definitely did my best to send the money that we owed him, but we should double check and confirm that he received it and everything. And then we need to do the HR proposals and just finalize all of the advances and back pays and everything.
Let me finish the 1099s, and then I'll start working with people on the HR proposals. I'm gonna need some help with that.
All
I'll
right,
get Nelly or somebody to help me. I'll necessarily get back into New York after Thursday, like Friday. I'll start working on that.
Okay, so let's get back to the payroll, shall we?
Sounds good.
All right, so and hopefully Asif is doing well, but that's why we have buddy teams, and we want to be checking on him and helping him out as much as we can. Hopefully he's resting up. Okay, so going back to the payroll, let me just say the other two things that I was looking for, because this is obviously an issue with a lot of our output. So there's a couple things that need to happen to actually know that everything's completed and finalized before it actually is completed and finalized. And one is that, so you make sure everything's green, double check and triple check, right? And ask questions. Well, we kind of changed topics for a little bit, so let's just give us 5 more minutes, okay?
Thank you.
All right. So ask questions for anything that is potentially a question, issue, right?
Yeah.
So make sure everything is green, right? Unless you're not sure, then leave it yellow, right? Leave yellow, ask questions. Okay? Don't just be like, oh, it's not done, and not talk to anybody and not tell anybody. So that's not going to help. Okay? And then the last part is that there is a final verification. Who understands how final verification works? Anyone know what final verification is? Does anyone know what column it is?
Final verification is when everyone is getting paid.
No. What column is final verification?
Final verification.
When you are sure ready to get paid.
Final verification is if the last team affected go to a game to make sure that in the green that it's not in the green for a reason, but he didn't look at it and check it. You know, if there might be a case information to make something from yellow to green, but to make sure that everything is
column N
3 times and that
Thank you, Joyce.
They had to be done before it's just what it is. The final verification to make sure one last time that it is correct, that every part of it's done, that bonuses are checked, that output, everything is checked before it goes to real-time payroll.
So who does final verification?
Jay.
So you want to make sure that everything is checked, and that the amounts are correct. But who does it? Who does final verification?
I think I know. And also, Jay is the one doing the final verification.
Okay, so the who would be, it would be like a manager or someone who knows payroll very well, who did not work on the payroll verification. Okay, does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. Yes.
Come back in. I did not hear.
It's some type of manager or someone who knows the payroll very well, who did not work on the payroll verification, right? So it's a different buddy team or a different person who does the final verification, right? It has to be a separate person from the people who did the first set of verifications?
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
From my side.
And it's got to be somebody who really knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Not somebody who thinks they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Cool. So typically the people who are doing the payroll verification spreadsheet are the people who know the most about it. But eventually we'll have enough people who know payroll verification really well that there'll be somebody who didn't work on it who potentially could do final verification, right? But that may be me as well. But obviously when we run the payroll, we're going to do an additional verification and double check everything. But yeah, all right. So I think that
I think the way Joyce had it set, final verification was going to be Nelly and Jorge. I think.
I don't know. We're not too worried about it. All right. So any other questions on payroll? So the key thing is just making sure you're communicating, letting people know, informing the team. Otherwise, people just don't know what's going on, So any other questions on the payroll? The other thing I want to mention, just to remind everybody, payroll setup is now, it's payroll setup and systems implementation is going to be a separate sub project. So there's 3 payroll projects now, right? 3 sub projects. These would be written like this. There's sub projects. There's preparation to run the payroll, the actual running of the payroll, and then the setup and the payroll systems. Which one's the most important?
Come on, guys. This is easy. Setting up the systems so everything works well with systems and processes.
But that's not necessarily the reason, though. It's not the systems and processes of why it's the most important. Why is setting up the payroll the most important? Do during payroll setup? What do you do during payroll setup? Can anyone think of one thing that would happen during payroll setup?
So I think we need to confirm that which body team working on this payroll and which date. And
You're talking about the payroll setup? No, that would be the manager position, right? So that would be the 4th one, the manager position. And then there's just a responsibility on, the scheduling, updating the schedule and calendar, right? Updating payroll.
Let me try
schedule.
the payroll setup. I think making sure the money is in account.
So say again, are you talking about setup and payroll systems?
Yeah. To make sure the money is in account.
Yes.
Before.
Make sure the correct amount of money is in the account. So, and the direction we're going on this is that we have 1.5 months in each account. I don't know. The answer is probably no. We probably just not. I haven't heard anything, and it's been Christmas. So, okay. So, anyways, what happens if there's not the correct amount of money in the account?
People don't get paid.
Yeah, payment.
No one gets paid. Yes, so it's pretty simple and straightforward. So that's why it's the most important thing. If we don't set up the payroll correctly, it's not going to happen. It doesn't matter how much work we do to verify all the payroll and how much work we do to try to run the payroll. We can't do it if we don't set it up. If the money's not in the correct account, not going to happen. We need to have debit cards, bank accounts, right? We need to have all the transfers, right? So these are the transfers. And we need to have, all the other aspects of making sure the debit cards work and the bank accounts work and all the different, logins and blah, blah, blah. It's endless, right? So there's probably like 20 to 30 tasks and responsibilities to set up a payroll system. It's a huge amount of work, and I'd have done, the vast majority of it. But the point is that we can't not do this. This is too important. All right, any questions about payroll setup, payroll support, running the payroll verification, updating payroll schedule and calendar, preparation to run the payroll?
I'm asking, is it a payroll manager that's supposed to inform when should money be on the account, in the account? Or anyone else who's working on payroll should inform you?
Yeah, so this is a component of accounting, so it also relates to accounting, right? So you need to actually know, how much money is in the account already, right? Then you need to know how much we need in the account to complete payroll. And then also we're going to do 1.5 months. So like every 2 weeks, right? That would equal 3 payroll. So the goal is that in each account, when we're running the payroll, the goal is to have enough money to run the payroll 3 times so that we have a little bit of a buffer. So that's the direction that we want to go, is like to be selling enough Bitcoin, selling enough, like whatever we need to do to get the money in the right place so that we can do 3 payrolls in a row, because it's just too much. For weekly payroll, it would be 6 payrolls. So that would be the goal, is to actually get a buffer, because I think that if there's a problem, we need to be able to have 6 weeks to solve a problem. Setting up payroll takes many, many weeks, and that's one of the biggest problems, is that everyone's like, oh, we want to run the payroll today and get everyone paid. And it's like, well, you should have thought about that 6 weeks ago, and actually stepped it up and actually getting the work completed and focused. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. But I think we're pretty good here. We're going to keep moving forward on it. And the goal is by the end of the month, we'll be even closer. But it's going to take potentially 3 months to have our payroll be perfect, especially if we continue to grow. I mean, we really do need to rethink all the payroll systems. Another thing that's very important that we should consider, and this is also a responsibility, is researching Bitcoin / Ether cyber currencies in each country we have active team members. So basically, we should know the best way to use Bitcoin in each country that people are considering, are currently working with us. And there's some countries where it's just not going to be available, or they can't use it. In other countries, it'll be really easy. But the point is that we can pay everybody immediately right now if you're willing to take Bitcoin and Ether, right? The problem is in converting it to US dollars and getting the Pioneer account set up and getting the Payza account set up and getting this set up and that set up and everything set up. It's just, it takes unbelievable amounts of time. And we actually have a proposal for the real costs of the fees, which include labor and work time. So like the time it takes to do Western Union is 3 times more than any other method of paying someone. So it just takes a lot more time because of all the problems with it. So we have to include that in the fees. I guess it's not really a proposal. It's really just like real costs. But I don't know. If anyone has any objections to that, you can let us know. But that's the direction we're going. Any other questions on payroll? How are we doing on time? How are we doing on time?
I think Albina.
Hello, Albina, Abdul. How are we doing on time? So anyway, I'm going to assume that we're out of time. So let's go on to the next topic. Who's doing the Christmas bonus year end?
It is me. I can share my screen.
Lucy, is that you?
Yes. This month come up with the Christmas bonuses. We have two options. That one, get out the Christmas, get out Christmas year and this proposal for Joyce. I mean, give bonuses according to his or her performance for the year. This is the first one, and people are voted for that, and we have voted yes. The other one is this is for suggestion from Lucy, 20% for every pay, and we are voting for that. So I think this is you can see if the proposal are okay or not. Give bonuses a performance for the year or the month, I don't know, something like that. The whole suggestion of 20% for everyone pay. These two proposals we have.
Okay.
For
so
Christmas
let's copy this in here. All right, cool. Any other questions about the proposal? Does everyone understand the proposal?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go
For
ahead.
me, I understand.
All right, so let's go ahead and split back up into our groups. So, Zilu, you're gonna go to the 8th hangout, and everyone else. Oh, and then I see Razu, you're gonna go to the 8th hangout as well.
Okay, Jay, no problem.
Okay. Cool. All right. So, and then I'm gonna leave you guys so you guys can talk about it and vote. All right. So now it's just the 5 of us. So, questions about the proposal and or concerns. So the proposal is basically to give bonuses. I think I would amend the proposal a little bit by basically saying proposal is to do. I mean, not really amending; it's doing both of them. So to give a bonus based on performance at about 20% for each person's pay. So that addresses a why and how we would give bonuses. And so for me, the main question would be, how much money does that equal?
Well, what's a month's payroll? What's the approximate of a month's payroll?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, but the point is that, hey, Lucy, are you still here? I thought you were in the 8th hangout group.
I'm still here.
You should be in the 8th hangout group with your team, with the other group.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So the question is, do we give a bonus to everybody, or is it only based on performance, right? In which case it might not include everybody. And then 20% of the entire payroll.
Give a bonus to somebody who's been here a month and give them a Christmas bonus? I don't know about that, you know.
If we paid everybody 20%, if we paid everyone, it would be about $2,000 of bonuses. Right. So you could think about that if we paid a lot less people, it could easily be less than $1,000 probably. And then also, you know, question, people who don't take the bonus, what happens then? And then the only other question here is,
I have a question. How long does somebody have to be working with us before we would give them a bonus?
Well, their performance needs to, if it's based on performance, it needs to actually have to have output and outcomes. Otherwise, so if they're brand new, I mean, they're not going to have any performance, you know?
All right.
Oh, and the last question is, where would the money come from?
That is always a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does it come from existing budgets, monthly budgets, project budgets? Yeah. So that's always important to check in on. But I think,
could our overall quarterly budget absorb a $2,000 bonus?
that would be taking it out of project budgets, right? So that would be removing project budgets and reducing reducing HR stability, right? But primarily project budgets. So, because we're not really going to be reducing our HR stability, we're going to be cutting projects. So, in the context of this, it does need to go. So, any way you look at it, this would go to HR. So,
one more thing to add to the proposal.
Yeah. So, I mean, I have no problem with this going to the HR board for approval. I like the idea of a bonus that's performance-based and 20% of each person. My biggest concern overall, are there any other questions before we go to concerns? No questions. Okay, concerns. So my biggest concern overall is why. Why are we giving bonuses? We have not completed the work that we have been assigned to do. So if we do it overall, like an overall bonus for the whole team, our performance was abysmal and we didn't complete the work, right? So if you go, another question would be like, is this a personal bonus for individuals, or should it be a team bonus, right? If it's a team bonus for the whole team, we just didn't meet the mark.
If it's a team bonus, then we don't deserve it. To be honest, we don't deserve it.
So that would be my main concern, is just the idea that like we didn't complete the work. Yes, we had too much work to do in general, but we didn't do the recruitment. I mean, we just go on and on and on about all the things that haven't happened. We're not doing the billing. We're not, dealing with the payment. We don't even know how much money we have, right? Because we don't know, because we're not doing the billing, and it's just, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's probably at least 10 super duper important things that are not happening that it's like, I don't even know what to do about it. So that's my main concern. Are there any other concerns? All right, well, I think let's vote then. So we're gonna vote based on numbers. So we have Abdul, Steve, Shigimi, and Albina, and Jay. So I'm gonna vote like 4, 4.5.
I'll vote 5.
I'll go 5. That's about it.
Okay.
We're not even going to be close. I see it already.
Shigimi, Abdul.
Yes, me 5.
Me too, around
5. Okay. So we'll see what the other group says. It'll be interesting to see what they say. But I could see this getting above a 5 with the other group, and then it's basically that we feel neutral about it, and the HR board can have a discussion about it and see what they want to do, and then we are good to go. So that's a 4.9 for average. So it's definitely, we're very neutral on it. It's like we're not yes and we're not no. We're just like right in the middle, neutral. So we'll see what the other group says. So let the other group know that we have voted and we're at abstention. So basically neutral, willing to have the HR board take a quick look at this. And definitely, prepare for next year, right? Or the half year. The half year is in July, right? So the half year is we do our half years. Like for us, there's no difference between in the Selene calendar between the half year and the full year. So good to know. So Albina, can you send a Skype message to the group to let them know that we approved, that we finished voting? The proposal didn't exactly get approved, but it didn't get voted no either. All right, so let's go into our goals. Oh, we're supposed to wrap up here actually, right? Aren't we past wrap up by 15 minutes? So I would propose that we do 15 minutes of our goals, then we push back a half an hour. So we try to get finished in 1 hour from now, or actually 45 minutes from now. You guys okay with that?
Yeah.
All right, so can you Skype the other group and say that we're pushing our time back and our goal is to be done in 45 minutes. And so we're gonna start wrap up in 15 minutes.
I have a proposal for the goals.
Well, first of all, the goals, this is the quarter moon session. And as the global steering team, what we do for the goals is we just review the new moon goals and see where we're currently at. We don't necessarily change them. Okay. So what would you like to say, Steve?
My proposal is going to be that, we have these quarterly, quarter moon sessions at the steering team, and I personally don't think it's working. I think we take the top 6 people or 5 people or 6 people who have the most production, make it a 3-month, a quarter position where they meet once every other week. And those 5 or 6 people with the highest production for that quarter are the ones who set the goals. Instead of it being whoever happens to go up in the quarter moon sections. Because I don't think this is working. I don't think we're meeting our goals. I don't think we're meeting our goals most of the time.
Okay, so first of all, our goals are definitely more than we could ever complete. Our goal, we have to focus on the top goals, which is why we prioritize everything. Secondly, just because you don't show up at the new moon session doesn't mean you can't vote to prioritize the goals. So anybody can still, know how we do the online voting forms or that? Anyone can vote on the goal prioritization as well. So you don't have to be physically at the session to be able to participate. But I do think it's good to get the input from the whole team, but I do agree that as the steering team, and what we want to be doing for the steering team is getting as many people who are, high, like you're saying, like people who have a lot of contribution rankings in the steering team. But it's also an election, so it's also kind of a popularity contest. But the point is that it's we are the top 5 people. This is it right here. It's me, Abdul, Steve, Shagimi, Albina. This is it. I mean, we didn't do the updated rankings from the Mercury session, but other than that, these are the people who were elected for the Mars session.
Right, we are probably it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why we're here together. So it's pretty exciting. The quarter moon's a very important time for us to check in because it doesn't happen very many other times. All right, so let's go through the goals. Are you guys any other questions on the general concept of the goals? Because I thought what Steve brought up was really important, and I think that this is actually an additional topic, a next step. Maybe we could add it as a topic, which is the best way to choose and coordinate goals and teamwork, right? Prioritizing. So the idea that you were talking about was prioritizing more experienced people, right? I think that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Cool. So if someone could add this to the next steps list, whoever's doing notes, that'd be great. And hopefully that will get on. Well, let's make sure that that gets onto our master topics list, so we can talk about it in the future. All right, let's find our goals. So the way we get our goals, we go up to the new moon session. Hopefully someone added it to the steering team doc, but I doubt it. Nope. So let me add this task again here. So the task is to add the link for the new / full moon session / global core team to the, oh wait, I just thought of something else here. Global steering team doc. Global steering team setup responsibility verification. Global team priority prioritization spreadsheet. There it is. It's already there. Looks like we might have missed Abdul's proposal for payment processing. Someone skipped us ahead too fast.
Yeah.
All right, but let's finish up with the goals, and then we can do that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to the 82nd East goals, not the 5th degree. And this is the first quarter moon session, right? So this is the first time we've reviewed our goals for the month. All right, so payroll. We just spent a bunch of time working on payroll because it's top priority. I would say we're like either 50% or 45%. What do you guys think? Yeah. All right, so that's payroll, recruitment, and the recruitment hard stop. And then we have recruitment for Hawaii. So, I mean, there's a lot of progress being made locally here. We have at least 6 or 7 people. If it wasn't for the fact that we're in the holidays right now, we probably would already have someone working locally here in the San Francisco Bay. So that's huge and very exciting. So I would say we're way over 50% on recruitment, but there's still more to be done. So I would say maybe 65%. And the recruitment for Hawaii, Alaska, New Zealand, I mean, I would say 50%, and plus it's just not, it's like Asif. I really am worried about what Asif is doing, you know, with the Asif Iqbal. Like, he's pushing himself way too hard, trying to do this stuff in the middle of the night, and all this stuff is just not healthy. I don't know if he should even be in the 180-degree sextant. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we need to really think about the recruitment for Hawaii. Websites. I mean, me and Abigail had a really good meeting, and I haven't heard from her since. So it's like we had this great meeting, we talked about it, and then it's like she just disappears, which is very similar to most of the.
She's removed herself from like almost all the Skypes. Okay?
Oh, did she quit again?
I don't know, but I see like 4 different Skypes she's removed herself in.
When did she remove herself?
At least 4.
Actually,
a couple days ago, listen. I started noticing it a couple of days ago.
Well, let's ask if you could Skype to the other group and ask Lucy to come over here and tell us more about what's going on with with Abigail would be good, or maybe Joyce knows who's her buddy. Let's find out who her buddies is and stuff like that, because that would be very sad. But it's also kind of odd that like she would push so hard and like all this stuff and want to come back in and make all these issues that came up and all this stuff, and then it's like I finally met with her and went over in detail for like 2 hours everything that needed to be done for the websites to move it all forward. She had like a month, if not 2 months of work, and then she just disappears without saying anything. It's very odd. So maybe the work kind of caught up with her and she was actually decided that she didn't want to do it. I don't know, because it was like finally she knew what she needed to do. Here's all the work that she needs to do, and it was an unbelievable amount of work. And then it was like she disappeared. So it's kind of weird. Anyway, so move on. 1099. Where's that at?
The list is about 35% done.
35.
Again, the holidays are part of that. And the fact that I can only work with the generators on has kind of knocked that out. Let me get home on Friday and I'll knock it out Saturday afternoon. I'll get it done.
Cool. We need to make sure we're prioritizing. We need to get other people involved and prioritize on verification of the names of each.
I already spoke with Nelly about it, and she said just get to her after the holidays. I will message her tomorrow and see if she's ready to do some work. I might have to talk tomorrow night with this during the day for her. So maybe we can get her started on doing it. Because they work with that stuff, Nelly and Jorge, all the time. So for as far as Extra goes, they're the best ones for me to do it. And I think, they have all the information already. So I will message Nelly tomorrow. We had a nice talk yesterday, and we're back in a really good place as far as working together. Actually, we had a nice talk after the meeting the other night when you left. We, stayed on the hangout, straightened that all up, everything. So we're good. So I will talk to her tomorrow, and I'll get Nelly and Jorge to be working on it with me. All right.
Cool. Okay, so Albina, do you hear anything from Lucy or anyone? We are reviewing monthly goals. Albina, are you gonna check in with Lucy and send a message about Abigail?
Yeah, I've just sent her a message on Skype.
Oh, you didn't do it in the quarter. You should always do everything in the quarter moon Skype. We don't do private messages. Private messages, no. We want to make sure everything's transparent, open to everyone. Okay?
Okay.
I thought everyone knew that already.
Yeah, I know. Me too. Okay, so client billing. We're not doing much there. I think we're probably going to be like 10, 15%.
Yeah. The only one who's got his client billing done is Zilla.
But it's not done though, because we haven't billed the client. It's still not done. There's nothing done.
No, I'm saying that the only one who's actually put it down on paper what hours it's worked is Zilla. And I started. And you probably have yours.
Somewhat, but we do need to keep pushing that. It's going to be very important to make sure.
I think more than 20%, more than 20 or 25%.
For what?
Because Lucy working on that also, and I check started. And
but what is being completed though? Like what is the 25% completed? Because no one's saying anything. I get nothing. Zero, zilto, nada.
I asked you guys to make a spreadsheet of all, with each client's name, who we did taxes and all the stuff for, and we do, and all the extra work that we do, had to put down from when you started working till now, what hours you work doing what. How far is that spreadsheet along? Or was the spreadsheet even created? I guess that means the spreadsheet wasn't even created.
I mean, I just think it's great to say that, like, oh, all this work got done, but there's no proof of it because no one's communicating anything. Like, as far as we're concerned, nothing got done because there's nothing to look at. There's nothing.
I'm not going back to everybody's work to look and see when they work. You asked,
well, eventually we'll do that, but
you asked me. Well, you asked me how to be done because I brought it up, and Abdul, you were there, and I said, "This is what we need. We need a spreadsheet that has all the client jobs that we have done, and then the names of all the workers, when they work, what hours they work."
Okay, so
doing what.
Okay, so obviously we need to go through billing a lot more. There's still a lot to be done. Let's just basically say that it's definitely needs to be prioritized. Can we move on? Lucy, do any of you guys at the other group know about Abigail?
I don't know. What's wrong with her? She's not present?
Lucy, can you come to me and hang out if you have info concerning Abigail? Or maybe Joyce. So go back over to the other group, ask the entire group about Abigail, if anyone knows anything about Abigail, and then come back over here or send Joyce or whoever knows so that we can find out more information.
Here with us. Can Joyce maybe tell us because she's here with us?
Okay, so Lucy.
I'm looking.
Oh,
yes,
you're here.
I was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. She told me when. Wait, I will look. She told me we will not continue, but I told her to just please tell Jay, and she told me that she will tell you, Jay.
Okay, but the point is that she's quitting. I mean, she didn't tell me anything. It's perfectly fine, but she's quitting again for the second time.
Yeah, I'm not.
The only reason Jay even knows. The only reason Jay knows is because I said that. The only reason anybody knows is because I said that he's, taking himself off a couple of Skypes. Otherwise, nobody would have even known. I just happened to make it in a passing comment when Jay was talking about websites that she's removed herself from, a bunch of Skypes. And he was like, oh, yeah? He didn't tell anybody.
Cool. All right, well, anyways, I think that answers our question.
She usually speaks to Joyce. Maybe she can tell us the reason.
Okay, does anyone know who her buddy is?
Her buddy team is Shigemi. Shigemi and Julie.
Okay.
Me and Julie.
What? Who is her buddy? Who's on her buddy team?
Shigemi and Julie.
And Aline? Who?
Shigemi and Joyce.
I hear Shigemi. Who else besides Shigemi?
And Julie.
Julie. Okay, so Shigemi, can you check in with Abigail and get back to us? That sound good?
All right.
Cool. And if she is leaving again, you just got to update your buddy team with Julie or do whatever you got to do for your main buddy team, but or find a new main buddy thing. I think it might be provisional anyways. Okay, so I think we're done. Any other questions about Abigail? I mean,
okay, we'll go back to that.
I mean, I feel bad for her because she was having a hard time with a lot of stuff, but we were trying to support her and helping her as much as possible. And I'm not sure, yeah. What do we do? Maybe she just couldn't handle the work or something. I don't know. I mean, we spent 2 hours going over all of it, and she said she was going to take on like 5 responsibilities, and then that was it. She never got back to us. So, unless there's anything else, I think we just go back to the core team prioritization spreadsheet.
Okay, I think Joyce, we can go back. Joyce, let's go back to our thing.
I'll do just share the spreadsheet on the Hangout. But the only problem with that spreadsheet is it has like 4 people on it, or 5 people, and there's a lot more people, myself included, that need to add to that spreadsheet.
Yeah, it also has a lot of other problems that we went over at a previous meeting. And we need to just talk about client billing more, but the purpose of client billing is to finalize like the total number of hours for each individual client agreement and to be able to bill it as part of an invoice, right? So there's a lot of work to be left to be done, and we're just not even close. So we need to keep pushing that and prioritizing it.
Yeah, I will look into it a little more to get back to America.
Cool. Yeah, we'll get it done. We just need to create. I think most importantly, for client billing, I think it's really processes and systems, right? Like people need to understand what the goals are.
We need to make a spreadsheet that fills out real time as people are working. I think that would make it a lot easier.
Yeah. All right. So shall we move on?
Yep.
Okay. So VZ Exa mesh reconciliation. I don't think anyone's done anything over the week, right?
Yes, I'm still working on that.
You have been working on that this week?
This week, we're working on that.
Okay. Do you know if you got anything done on it?
Can you tell me what they were doing?
All right, 0%. If we don't know,
I don't think there's something done on that day.
Yeah.
It's just still.
No. Well, stop. It's not 0%. Because I was working on it before we got hooked up with other stuff. I was working on it before we get into the hard stop and everything.
Well, I know, but this is for this month. This is the 82 degrees. So if you go to 5th degree East Moon month, the Examesh, it was at 75%. We completed all of the goals of everything that we wanted to get done for Visa Examesh last month, right? So now we have the new goals for this month of what we want to get accomplished for this month. If nobody has even lifted a finger and worked on it at all in the last week, it is at 0%. You guys understand? It's not possible to have done anything for this month's goals if no one lifted a finger for the month.
Right, 0%.
0%.
0%.
And Abdul, if you think that Zilu did do something, then check in with them and update it accordingly. Otherwise, let's not worry about it and move on. I mean, we have about 2 to 3 months to finalize everything for Visa Examesh. So it's not a super hurry. All right,
I will get done. It will get done.
Yeah, so number 9 is prioritize and downsize temporal time budgets, downsize or increase pay from EXA. Like we need to fix our current situation where we're doing too much work for too little money. And I've actually worked in this quite a bit. I would say we're at 25% on this, but we still actually have to finalize it and actually talk to them. All right, EXA Finances, Accounting, Taxes, Support, 1099. So the 1099 is at 35%. Overall, EXA Finances and all the other stuff is probably maybe 20%.
No, on the taxes, I think. I mean,
well, no, we really want to get to real-time taxes. Yeah, we have a lot more work to do to really step up the finances.
Yeah, well, we'll have to prioritize some time to talk.
Yeah, and remember, this also includes some of the value tracking, I think. Oh no, EXA value tracking is separate. Okay. Do you guys want to keep going or you guys want to stop?
Can still continue.
Okay, so let's do like up to number 15. So let's do 4 more, okay?
Yeah.
5, we'll do 5 more and then we'll stop, okay? But obviously you can see that we're not getting very far with a lot of stuff, a lot of red and yellow, but this is expected on the first week of the verification process. There's not much is going to be getting done, right? We're going to be going through the same.
And when it's a holiday week, it makes it harder.
And when it's a holiday week, for sure. So we're going to go through the same set of things every single week. So next week at the full moon, we'll be reviewing this again, and then again at the quarter moon session, the last quarter moon. All right, verification spreadsheets. I mean, we did a little bit, but we're not good on that. Maybe 20%, 17%. EXA executive proposals. This actually has moved forward somewhat. We need to get the budget set up, but we have that, and this is going to be for ASAP. So let's just say 50% on EXA. Maybe a little less, 40%. Proposals. That's pretty good. Zilu says 40%. How much time did you spend on it this week? All right, so Selling calendar is going pretty well, although there are some issues that aren't getting done. Let me just quickly go over that. I think Albina, you signed up to work on the Selling calendar? 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Zilu thought it was 40%, and he's like, oh, I didn't work on it at all. It's like, okay, it's 0, It's like, oh my goodness. All right, so Selling calendar is something we have worked on, so I would say that might even be green. But there's one little thing that's a problem that needs to be addressed with immediately, and Albina, I think you're supposed to be doing this. And I want to make sure you do it like like it needs to get done. It's very important. So if I go to calendars and scheduling, and if we go to Celine's calendar.
Hi Jay, I have a question about the Selene date.
Yeah.
Can you told us the exact time, start and ending time? I just faced some problem in the ending time of this Selene date.
Sure. Yeah. So the end of the day is the beginning of the next day.
Yeah. What time exactly?
Yeah, so that's why I don't I working on that, but actually I don't understand the ending time of the day.
Sometimes there is confusion also. 8 days.
Confusion.
Okay, so this is the one that has all the start times for each day. So currently we're on the 8th day, so these two can get crossed out. Break through. Whoops. So the 8th day started on Monday, December 25th at 11:43 a.m. UTC, right? So right now, if it's 5 a.m. our time, that would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's 11 a.m. UTC right now. And at 12:23 is the beginning of the next day. So at an hour and about an hour and a half will be, or about an hour and 10, 15 minutes will be the beginning of the 9th day. So we're at the very end. So it starts in about an hour and 15 minutes. Does that make sense?
So we are still at 8.
Yes.
We are still in Monday.
The quarter moon always starts on, the quarter moon is always on the 8th day. The first quarter, always on the 8th day of the month, every month forever. Never changes.
Okay.
So does that answer your question, Abdul? Does that answer your question, Abdul?
Can you just go down? Go down.
Oh, actually, it says here it's about. Oh no, this is this one. Yeah, 6:23. Yeah.
Yes,
So it's about an hour
I
and a half.
understand this one. I am confused when I calculate the next, like as after 31st day, just from here. I just not calculated here. What will be the next day? Like as 15th day, 15th Selene day. What will be the exact time?
Well, that's super easy. The problem is not that. The problem is over here, where the work that Albina and Lucy and other people said they were going to do over and over and over again, they're not doing. Right? So I'll tell this again, but someone needs to do this. It just needs to get done. It won't take very long. It's just these need to be dates. They're not dates. Albina, do you understand that?
Yeah, I do, Jay. I'm trying to work on that today.
Say again? Say what?
I'll assign myself to do that today in the body.
Okay, but that was already assigned at least 3 times already.
And that's my mistake.
Yeah, so it's not assigning yourself to do it. It's like, okay, actually doing the work that you were already assigned to do 3 times. So do you understand that these aren't dates? Do you understand how to make them into a date?
Yeah.
Like you could literally do this right now in like 5 minutes. Like you could literally just do it right now. Like why don't you just show us the first one to show us that you know how to do it, and then we'll know you know how to do it. As opposed to right now, you're saying that you kind of know how to do it, but I'm not sure you actually do because it's not clear. So Abdul, the problem, the reason why we can't calculate the days of each of the times is because we don't have the dates. If this was a date, then we could just easily do it. So do you want me to link this to the notes for you, Albina?
How can we verify this time on 16th Selene date?
Say what?
On 16th Selene date, I see this is yellow. So how can we verify that date time? 16th Selene date, yeah.
This just needs to be a date. So let's say we do 15. So for 15, I just copy and paste this because I already did this one for them, showing them how to do it. But it doesn't look like there's gone for it. So Albina, are you going to do the next one for the 16th so we can see that you know how to do it? That's like nothing. I didn't hear anything from you. I heard and that's nothing. That's unacceptable. Like you have to talk.
Yeah, on second. I think the next one is Tuesday 2nd. It will be at 2:24 a.m. UTC.
No, it already is the correct time. It says 4:38 p.m. on Tuesday, January 2nd. This needs to be a date. Do you understand what we're saying when we say it needs to be a date? See how this one is a date? It's an exact date. Whereas this one is not a date. It's text.
Yes, I understand.
Okay, that's great. So Abdul, can you fix it, please, Abdul? If you understand, please fix it. Just do it right now. Like there's no need to wait 3 weeks to fix it. It literally take 5 minutes to just do it right now. Right? There's there's no reason to wait another 3 weeks to do this. Like when
I understand what is the difference between two and but I actually don't know how to I put the exact date.
Okay, so that's my whole point here. Is everyone says yes, I understand, but if you don't actually do it, then we don't know you actually do it, and that sounds like you guys don't understand. So if you know how to do it, then say you know how to do it. If you don't, and then do it. If you don't know how to do it, then ask us how to do it, and we'll show you how to do it. But don't say you know how to do it and then not do it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, Jay, you can show us so that we can.
Okay, so I'll do it again for you. So see, this one says 4:38 p.m. So this is the actual date. So I just copy and paste it here, and I'm going to 4:38 p.m., which is going to be 16:38 p.m., and it's going to be the 2nd. Done. So you see how I just added the date in here, and it is exactly the same. It's just the actual date. Did you guys get that?
Come on, guys. This isn't rocket science.
I just tried.
Say what?
I just tried the third one, 17th.
Yeah. So instead of it, yeah, if you just type the days here, they're not dates. They're not calculatable. So he needs to be an actual date, which is an equation based on 24-hour time, and then they automatically come out to be a date, and then when you take this date and you copy and paste it over here, I copy and paste the date for the first. Oh, that one's already done. So I'll do the next one.
Automatically. Is it time and date? Is it automatically coming?
Well, no. So when I paste it as an actual date, then it's all automatic. I just come all the way through here, and then I paste it, and then it automatically does the calculation.
Okay.
Right, so it literally takes 2 seconds to go all the dates. We could do as many time zones as we want, right? But if it's not a date, it doesn't work. Okay, does that make sense? So can someone please do the next one?
It doesn't do well with words, guys. The next one would be 1/3/2018 at 17:13 hours.
Yes, that is exactly correct.
But then we knew that I know how to do it.
Yeah. So can you guys just do one and then show us that you know how to do it, and then we can go on to the next thing, because this is taking way too long. And you guys should have said you didn't know how to do it before, instead of saying you're going to do something and then just ignoring it and not ever doing it and not telling anyone ever that it didn't get done. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
But that's what always happens. When somebody can't do something, they just ignore it.
Just ignore
and then
it.
you or I or one of the other people end up doing it.
So Shagimi, what do you do when you're not sure what to do for something or how to get it done? What?
Ask questions.
Okay. So do you have a question to ask?
For now, I'm watching what we've been doing, and I understood how this spreadsheet works.
Look, let me see if I can make this real simple. The date is there. Okay, forget the day. We're not using the day. January is the first month, so the date, the month, and the day stay the same. So it's still going to be the next one before, it'll still be 2018, and just changing the 4 o'clock or the 5 o'clock or whatever to military time, the 24-hour time. So the only thing you really need to change is one thing from AM, PM to military time.
Yeah.
This isn't difficult, guys.
Yeah, but my point to Shigimi was a little broader, which was basically like, you know, Shigimi, if I ask Shigimi if she has a question about how to get something done, and you say that you have no question, what that means to me is that you're not doing anything. You know, it's like everybody should have lots and lots and lots of questions about all the things that they're trying to do. You know, so it's just very, very odd. Like what is the main thing that you're working on, Shigimi?
The previous one, I've been working with Joyce and Eileen
on what?
Recruitment before.
On recruitment. Okay, what are you recruiting for?
For Hawaii, Alaska.
How many Craigslist posts have you made?
I'm in charge with Facebook.
Facebook. Nobody is supposed to be doing Facebook for recruitment, for worker recruitment is not Facebook. No. That would be outreach. Outreach should be Facebook, not recruitment. Like Facebook is not where we go to recruit workers for paid workers. That would be going for doing outreach of like general outreach. What are you doing on Facebook? Have you found it? I think we did find Akash and Divya through Facebook. Did you help find them? Or was that Joyce?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, that's not a good answer because collaborative work with Joyce.
Work.
Okay, anyways. That's still not enough though. I mean, doing some Facebook posts for recruitment is not a lot of work, but we are in the hard stop, so it's good enough for now. So let's get back over here. So now you changed the date that I had correct and you made it incorrect. So what's going on over here? Who's doing this? Is that Abdul or Albina?
I'm not working on that yet, but I
so
just
Albina,
tried.
is this Albina?
Pretty fast. Yeah, maybe Albina.
Albina, are you here?
I just tried.
Sorry, I'm not working there.
No, nobody's working here. Okay, guys, what did we just talk about the last 10 minutes?
Yeah, I just
We're all sitting here waiting for you guys to do work, and you're not doing anything.
I just, you know, I'm also confused about the exact time and.
Okay, Albina. Do you have the spreadsheet open?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so what are you confused about?
Like now on the 17th, the column 35. Wednesday, January 3rd.
Say
now
again?
the real time, 5:13 p.m. UTC.
What is your question? That's not a clear question. What is the question again?
Okay, my question is now, to get the real time, is it 5:13 p.m.
The time is all correct. Yes, it's 5:13 p.m. UTC, which would be 17:13 24-hour clock.
So it will be 17:13.
Can I try it?
Shigimi?
Can I try it? This one.
Please, anybody. We just need to get it done. Like this is just, it should be really easy. I'll show you guys how to do it again since someone messed it up. So I take here, I copy, and I paste the formatting. It's going to be January 2nd, 1638. And then I change up here to make it 1638 and January 2nd. Oh, done. Okay. It literally took me 7 seconds.
Is it right now? 17:13. UTC?
No, that has nothing to do with what we're asking you to do. We're asking you to change the date, not the type. You just changed the typing from 5:13 to 17:13. It had nothing to do with the date. So whoever did line 39 did it correctly, except they changed the formatting to make it really bad. Okay, no, that's not going to work. Are you guys watching me when I do it or not?
Yes, I can do it now and I understand. And I just.
But you didn't do it. Who's working on line 39? Who's working on line 39?
I am
working.
I am on 35 day.
Okay.
I'm on line 35.
Well, 35 is still text. It's not a date. So line 39 is an actual date. So why aren't you? Okay, there you go. Boom. Perfect. Yeah. And so then we would make it reset it. So now line 39 is perfect. That's exactly correct. So it's a date with the correct date. Wait, no, now it's changed back again to text. Why is it back to text again? That's so weird. You guys went backwards again. All right. Not working.
There.
Yes, there you go. You got it. Line 39. You did it. Perfect.
And I did line 37.
Yeah, looks good. 37 looks good too. So Albina, it looks like Abdul and Chagimi both get how to do a date. Do you need help, Albina? So you have to copy and paste. You have to copy and paste a date into the correct format. Otherwise, you're working with text. Anyways, you guys can go over that with Albina later, okay? Because we need to move on. This is taking way too long for no reasons because this shouldn't be that complicated. All right, so the most important thing you have to understand is these bottom ones that are in red are actually incorrect. So these ones were just not dates, but the times and dates themselves were correct, whereas these ones are actually incorrect times and dates and need to be fixed, okay? And Albina, I believe you did that before. I mean, you just go to the work here, the new month daily calculations, and you would come over here under the actual days, and this would be under the new date calc. And you would find the day, and you would get the date and the exact time. So like for the 20th, for example, here's the 21st, 1942 on the 21st. Okay? Can you guys handle that?
Yes, I see.
The hour in UTC, the minute in UTC, 1922, 2022, 21, 3, etc., etc. Okay? So we just want to update these dates here, and then once this is all updated, then we can update all of these weeks, right? So we want to make sure the weeks are updated.
Yes, I understand this task, and I take this and I will do that.
Cool. So then we can update these weeks, and then we want to make sure everyone knows which weeks are which, so that all works out. All right, I think we're done. And everyone understands that this particular week that we're going into now, it has 8 Gregorian days that it is aligned with, even though it's only 7 actual days, okay?
Yes, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. And then this is going to start on Monday, 1st of January. Cool. And it's going to end on Sunday, January 7th.
So on third week, it will take 6 days, right? Third week, 6 days.
Well, hello. We are done on
What do you mean?
Way
What
too
do you mean,
long, guys.
Lucy? What do you mean,
Hello?
Lucy? What do you mean you're done?
Priorities on updating those who are updating, and you're done with it?
Okay, all right. Well, we're gonna go on to Abdul's proposal, and then we're gonna finish up and check out and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Julio. So, oops. So Abdul, what's your proposal? And then we'll check out.
Yes, my proposal is I want to get my payment this last month, like it's 2 weeks, last month 2 weeks from Asif Raju's account.
So do you have a proposal or not?
Yes, I have a proposal. I just linking there.
So this is a proposal. Okay, let's take a look. Master Decisions Doc Full Team. So this is a proposal that was approved where?
On yesterday or Fulcrum team.
Fulcrum team, okay. Oops, that didn't work. For some reason, I haven't been able to copy and paste things. So if someone else could paste the proposal into our notes, that'd be great. And sorry about getting kind of annoyed about all those stupid spreadsheet things. It's just been 3 weeks that's needing to be getting done, and we keep assigning people to it. And instead of being like, oh, we don't know how to do that, please tell us. You guys are like, oh yeah, we know how to do it. And then it never gets done. So it's just been frustrating. But anyways, it's perfectly fine. Sure, we'll get it done on time in the future. So can someone please copy and paste the proposal into the notes? All right, here we go. Cool. So he does the withdrawal from Payoneer. We should be able to pay you directly into Payoneer and skip Upwork. I can't withdraw my payment from my Payoneer MasterCard now. So is the problem with the Upwork, right? Or is the problem with Payoneer?
The problem is the Payoneer, not Upwork.
Huh. Problem is Payoneer. Okay. So I propose to send the last 2 weeks' payment to Asif Razu account. It'll be helpful with my password and other costs. Thanks. Propose to send the last 2 weeks' payment to Asif Razu's account. And let's just confirm
I
here.
already subtract the upper fees $25. I already subtract. So it will be 305.
Yeah. So, are there any questions about the proposal?
You've spoken to Asif Razu about this. He's okay with it?
Well, let's just ask him directly on Skype. Hey, Asif, you are okay accepting payment for Abdul?
I already talked with Asif and he's agree with me.
Okay, so let's just say Asif. What's this? He's typing. Are any other questions about the proposal? Wednesday, no problem.
I think Razu is okay. He's in agreement.
Any other questions about the proposal?
No, I think it's pretty straightforward.
So let's go over the concerns. So there's a lot of concerns that come up with this particular proposal. The first one would be, there's a minor policy thing, which is basically like, Asif isn't Abdul, but, we know that they are agreeing to it. The second thing, like our policy that we pay the person who's getting paid. But anyways, the second thing, which is more important, is that we have a contract with Upwork. We have a contract with Upwork to pay Abdul through Upwork for 2 years, and it's up on January 20th, 2018. So then we can pay Abdul any way we want to. So there's like a legal, so it's a legal issue. Okay, yeah, we got that. All right, so 3. What else? I think that's it. I think those are the only 2 main things for me. 3, there's also like that Abdul has a Payza account, but not verified, and that's why that's part of why he needs to get his passport.
I think as a one-time, because he's having a problem verifying, I don't see it being too much of a problem. I mean, I don't know how it would affect. I don't know how Upwork would even know about it on a one-time basis. And they're the ones who are giving him. Unless Upwork can come up with another way to pay where he doesn't have this problem, I don't know what else we could do.
Yeah, so for me, I think this is a one time, and I just need money for my to do my passport. So when my passport is finished, and it take 1 month. So when I got my passport in my hand, then I can verify my account. But I have no smart ID card from my country, but I use the online form, online form
Okay,
that
so
I download.
So in the context of this whole passport thing, like, we paid you more money last month than ever before, times like a lot, because you got all the bonuses. It was like $700, something like that, which was a lot. And I think it's even potentially over your jurisdiction costs. But the idea that all the money disappears, you have no money to pay for anything, and that you need all this money for your passport just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe it's true or whatever, but the point is that the policies and legality and the budget and the money should have nothing to do with what you need the money for, right? Because you need money for more than just your passport. You need it to live and travel and food and medical and all the things you need to live on. So people need to understand that in general, with all budgetary decisions, what you need the money for and all that, it's not applicable to the proposal. And it's actually a manipulation. It's like when people say like, oh, I need all this stuff, and this is, I need to feed my children, all this stuff. It's like, of course you need to do that. And of course we want to help people as much as possible, but it shouldn't mean that somebody else doesn't get their help as well. So anyways, the point is that that's perfectly fine. You have a passport, that's fine. We want to get you the money no matter what. It's not about whether you need the passport or whether you need it to feed your children or whether you need it for whatever reason. It's not applicable to whether or not and how we get you paid. So let's just get you paid. I think we're ready to move on here and just vote on the proposal. I would say that we most likely would just add an extra month to Upwork, and I think Steve's right. It probably should be fine. Add an extra month to Upwork for when we get it set up. So this would just be a one-time payment to Asif Razu. Yeah, but it will, on the books, the money will be going to Asif Razu, so we'll have to figure that out. And if you can write up a document, and maybe we could do it as a reimbursement or something like that. Yeah. So Asif Razu, write up a invoice and make it a reimbursement. So if you guys can write a document to document the whole transaction, that'd be helpful. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so let's go ahead and vote. Abdul, Jay, I'm probably like a 7. Steve, so I'm a yes.
Thank you,
Sagini,
Mr. 7.
Albina, Steve's a yes, he's a 7. Questions, votes, Sagini, Albina, Abdul. Albina's a yes. Shagimi, Abdul, can you get a vote?
8. I'm 8.
Abdul.
Also, yes, yes.
Okay, so we have consensus. All right, so I think that's it on our agenda. Are we ready to check out?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get going, so yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm really tired. I gotta get to bed here. So let's start with Shigimi. How was the session for you? What are you going to be working on the next week? And we will see you at the new moon. Oh, wait. Don't we have like the?
Thanks, guys, for
I think the new moon. I think the new moon
Yeah.
comes up, and then we have the board meeting, which is on the 3rd. But we do need to get better at our scheduling and our wrap up. Like, yeah, it was just not good that we're not doing the wrap up still. So Shigimi, we could do 20. We probably should do 20 minutes of wrap up, but I guess we're not going to do that.
Are we good?
Do you want to check out Shigimi? Like, how'd the session go for you? What are your next steps? What are you going to do for the week? Et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah. This is a pretty good one since we revisited the responsibilities that we set forth during the full moon, and we'll have a report for instance. So this week, status about where she pulled out from our Skype group. Second, I'm happy that I'll be joining Abdul and Jay tomorrow for the payroll. As soon as the verification course. And then we will continue working on the recruitment. So we will fill in the lead for the front. Thank you, guys.
Cool. So just be sure to send out reminders and Skype or email everything about this session that's happening tomorrow, because it's the first time and people will need to get reminders, okay?
All right. Thanks.
All right. So Albina, check out.
Yes.
That's
For
all.
this is
Albina, are you there?
yeah. And also the selling calendar. I think there's some just confusion on the dates. I'm sure I'm going to get clear on that and everything on tick.
Okay, Abdul.
Really, I enjoyed this session. To focus the payroll verification and calendars. Thank you all.
Hi. Are we ready? I didn't make the share, Don. I'm here, of course, but I'm just kind of upset that we're still talking about things that we've gone over many times before, like, hey, I mean, we've done all this stuff, some of it 20 times already, and everybody should know it already. But we're getting better. Slowly but surely, we are getting better. As far as what I have on my 99s, I'll be talking to hopefully people at the examiner tomorrow to help do some more work on the HR proposal. And I have 50 time I have to be working on. And I will try to balance out as much as, you know, that work on. There's always
I'm out of here. I'll talk to you guys later.
something, possibility, priority, or something that I know.